Application servers have to come with some overhead. The question is the overhead still viable to use application servers as a microservice platform? To answer the question, I would like to start the WebSphere Liberty profile, web profile for Java 7 and the current version 8558. And just do this. Will take a few seconds. So now the server should be started. Yeah, now it is launched. And so let's connect with the JVisual VM. And so we see it already consumes 40 megabytes of RAM. I would like to perform the garbage collection, so the consumption goes back to 24. So again, 21. So this is important note. There are no heap settings, so it is running on the default JVM settings from Java 8. So it's around 40 to 50 megs. Okay, this was WebSphere. So WebSphere needs comes with 50 megabyte of RAM overhead. So okay, now stop the server. And let's go to now let's go to not web services rather than application servers. And then I would like to start the Payara. This is the recent one. So it will take longer as a cold start, and it has also started the database. It's already started. Okay, so it's not that long, but so now we have the GlassFish here. I would like to monitor that. And we see it comes with around 64 megabyte of RAM overhead. Unfortunately, I cannot see the JVisual VM, the garbage collector tab. So just retry that. Monitor. Now it's better. So now it comes with, there was a garbage collector run with 40 megabyte of RAM. I would like to perform the garbage collector, so it goes back to 30. So the overhead is a little bit more than in WebSphere case, but it's still around 50 megs. So it is actually not comparable because it already comes with -XMX setting here. So we cannot directly compare it, but out of the box is the overhead roughly the same. So now let's come back. Let's kill Payara or stop Payara. So there's another interesting application server. This is the Tommy Plus. This is 7.0 version, Meister 1. So this is actually the worst possible case because it is the Tommy Plus. So it comes with JMS, EGBs, and whatever available. It is not Java 7 certified, but is Java 7 compatible, I would say. So you can run Java 7 apps on it. So it started in 700 milliseconds. So it was a quick start. Let's take a look at the overhead. And so it looks like a Tomcat, but it's Tommy. Monitor. We see it uses 30 megabyte of RAM out of the box. I would like to perform the garbage collection. It goes back to 20 megs. And as you can see, there are no heap settings. So it's very similar to WebSphere. But let's say it is actually the lowest overhead so far. But it is also around 20 to 50 megabyte of RAM. It really depends on the JVM settings. So Tommy looks actually really good. Stop. And I would say now try the recent WebLogic. So I would like to run the WebLogic. Okay, it's running. So it was started in, I don't know, 2-3 seconds. So now we have our WebLogic here. Monitor. And as you can see, it takes 300 megabytes. You say, wow, it is huge. But we run the garbage collection, and it goes back to 77, 50, again, around 50. Take a look at the settings. As you can see, it is the largest heap setting, -XMX 1 gig. And this might be the reason. But if you go back, it is around 60. So I would say this is roughly the same as the other application servers. Of course, Tommy is 20 megs and WebLogic around 60 megs, but they are not gigabytes rather than megabytes difference. Okay, and the last one I would like to review is the Whitefly. So I would like to start the Whitefly. Okay, and this is this one. Let's take a second. So I will have to kill the JVisual VM again. So sometimes it gets corrupt. So there's our Wi-Fi monitor. And it is about 50 megabyte of RAM. Unfortunately, I cannot perform the garbage collection, so it will go back to 3020, but it's also around 50 megs. So I would say most of the application servers are very, very similar. So what I would like to do is to kill Wi-Fi and start the pure Tomcat, the recent one. This is Tomcat 9. So this is the this is actually not a Java EE server, rather than a very simplistic servlet container. As you can see, you can even save 200 milliseconds of start time if you go just the puristic container route. And here is our Tomcat. Take a look at the performance or the overhead. Comes with 50 overhead out of the box, very much like the Wi-Fi. I would perform garbage collection, but it goes back to 15. So it's significantly leaner, or significantly 5 megs less than the Tommy. And take a look at the overview. There are also no JVM heap settings, so it's not comparable to the other application servers, but you get a rough idea that what you can achieve with, or what you can save around 5 megs if you are just using Tomcat. So again, always get around 15 megs. Okay, now we tested the Tomcat. What I did, there is a project called, I'll show in a second, GitHub Nano Adam Bean. So, and this project is interesting because it's just a very simplistic HTTP server written with NASO and JavaScript. It's just 8K, so it is really minimalistic. It's just a few classes, so it's just really tiny. So, and what I would like to do is to launch Nano to show you the difference to nothing. Nano. Okay, so there is a micro. So what I did, I already registered a simplistic context, and what I would like to do is to launch the browser and say localhost 42 micro. And you see micro ISO yesterday. So let's look at the Nano. And this is 45 megabyte of RAM. Launch the garbage collection, but it goes back to 8. So the Nano would be the simplest one, and there are absolutely no JVM settings. So this is just a plain HTTP server. So what Nano does is it just serves exactly that. So it's just a JavaScript function. So it is minimalistic. Okay, now the question is it viable or not? So to answer this, what I prepare is this. This is actually a RAM which I bought for my server last year. And it was the most expensive one because it's the ECC RAM for a Xeon processors. And I can see 8 gig of this RAM does cost around 140 euros. So now do the math. And what I did is the following. It's like if 8 gigs do cost 140 euro, so 1 gig costs around 1 cent or 2 cents. So what it actually means is having 100 megabyte overhead, which was so far not achieved. So all application servers were significantly leaner than this. Let's say the overhead is 100 megs. Then the overhead of application server will cost you €1.70 per deployment. And so what it actually means is it is really not worth discussing this, because if you will launch a meeting and discuss the issue of overhead of application servers, probably the meeting is going to be more expensive than discussion, and therefore I will stop here. So in my point, application servers are viable to be used as a microservice, as a capable microservice platform.